Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today on Need for Knowledge we go behind the scenes to see how glass is made using sand, as well as an insight into the amazing glass blowing techniques used in glass production. If you carefully consider all the furnishings in your house, you will observe that a good number of them are made using glass. These furnishings may be more delicate than others, but there is no denying that objects made using glass are often classy and fancy. This is an important reason why people continue to furnish their houses with them despite their durability concerns. And nowadays, glass manufacturers have taken it upon themselves to address these concerns and make glass in such a way that is more durable. However, it remains difficult to believe that glass, as pretty as it is made using something as crude and ordinary as sand. The art of glass making has existed since the 1st century BC, and probably even earlier. And although there have been a few changes, the use of sand still remains very important. Back then, glass was used to produce mainly weapons, but now it's used to produce a much wider range of objects. You can find glass in very conspicuous places like French windows, glass doors, fancy houses with glass walls and partitioning, and the list goes on and on. But glass is also used to produce simple things like a simple mirror, the windshield of your car, your phone screen, eyewear, and so on. After all these centuries, glass has become an essential and normal part of human existence. And if you've ever wondered how they're made, then you're in the right place. First of all, it is important to point out that there are different kinds of glasses, each with its own peculiarities. Therefore, the production process of each one differs as well. This means that tinted glasses are produced differently from soundproof or bulletproof glasses, or those used to manufacture plain mirrors. This would explain why there is a difference in qualities like brittleness, transparency, and sound control. Although the manufacturing process of all these glasses differ, they all have one raw material in common, and that is silicon dioxide, otherwise known as sand. For the sake of this video, we will be talking mainly about the production of clear glass and how it is shaped into equipment we are all familiar with. Apart from sand, other raw materials used to produce clear glass include soda ash, limestone, dolomite, and feldspar. All these compounds occur naturally, so the first step is to extract them from places in nature where they are abundant. After extraction, the raw materials are taken to the factory and purified individually, especially the sand, which is passed through screens of different sizes to remove impurities like sticks and dirt. The purified sand is then poured into a huge mixer, where it sits until the other raw materials are added. Next, the others are heated separately in furnaces to extract metallic oxides needed for the glass production. Heated soda ash produces sodium oxide, limestone produces calcium oxide, dolomite produces magnesium oxide, and feldspar produces aluminum oxide. These oxides are also passed through screens, and after measuring the appropriate amounts, they are added to the sand in the mixer. After mixing till the homogeneous powder is formed, a mechanical hand lifts the mixer and pours its content into another container, which serves as a transporter. A factory worker then pushes this container to the furnace, where the next production stage occurs. The furnace is preheated to an extremely high temperature of almost 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is high enough to melt the sand and the other solid raw materials. Apart from increasing the quality of the glass, the oxides are heated with the sand to decrease its melting point, thus conserving energy and reducing cost. After heating, the sand oxide mixture becomes molten glass, a flowing yet thick liquid which is poured into a mold that gives the glass its shape. For plain mirrors that are typically flat, the molten glass is poured into a flow bath, and as it flows, the temperature of the glass is cooled from about 3,000 degrees to 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, the surface of the glass is coated to give it its reflective property. Then, it is left to cool completely and solidify. From here on out, all that is left is other finishing touches and packaging, but this applies only to flat plain glasses. The molding process is entirely different for glass cups, bowls, vases, or any kind of glass vessel. The process of molding glass vessels is called glassblowing. We all know glass is an extremely brittle substance, but thanks to this process, something so delicate and stiff can be used versatilely. The process of glassblowing could be a daunting task that is difficult for just one person to pull off, so a team of professional glassblowers usually tackles it. Before glassblowing can occur, the molten glass is removed from the furnace, and once it's out, the glassblowers have to work fast. Molten glass may be very thick, but it is malleable, and the first step in the glassblowing process involves the glassblower inserting one end of a metal blowpipe into the cauldron of molten glass. The blower rolls the pipe into the molten glass until a gob of glass attaches to it. The blower takes up an estimate of the amount of glass appropriate to mold a certain part of the glass vessel, and this part requires a lot of experience to get right. Next, the blowpipe along with the gob is placed on a flat metal instrument called a marver. Using the free end of the blowpipe, the glassblower slams the gob against the marver and rolls it at intervals. This process aims to control the shape and temperature of the glass. After shaping the gob for a while, it begins to cool down, inevitably making the glass harder and less malleable. For this reason, the glassblower alternates the gob of glass between the marver and a compartment called the glory hole. This glory hole is a hot chamber where the glass is quickly heated to make it malleable before being taken back to the marver to continue the shaping process. Depending on the skull of the glassblower, many different shapes of glass vessels can be made by just rolling the glass on a marver and reheating it in a glory hole. After achieving the desired shape, still on the end of the blowpipe, the glass is carried over to the next station, where it is colored and designed. When designing or coloring a glass during the blowing process, the most common medium used is crushed colored glass. Old colored glasses are crushed and placed into a wide metal container. Then the hot glass on one end of the blowpipe is inserted into this container. Due to the heat of the glass, the colored pieces of glass fuse almost immediately to the glass being produced. After that, it's taken back to the marver, where it's rolled again for further sharpening and to increase the strength of the attachment of the colored glass pieces to the hot glass. Next, the glassblower blows air into the hot glass using the blowpipe, giving it its final shape and size. The blowpipe is placed on a steel stand for this process, and the glassblower simultaneously rotates the pipe. Throughout this process, the glass has to be taken back to the glory hole because blowing air into it cools it down fast. Once this process is over, the glass is separated from the blowpipe using steel tweezers and heat-resistant gloves, after which it is carried to an annealing oven. This oven allows the glass to cool down slowly over several hours, preventing rapid temperature changes, which can cause the glass to shatter. Once they've cooled, the glasses are taken out of the oven and packaged for sale. What do you think about the glass manufacturing process? Leave your answer in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this episode of Need for Knowledge, and we will see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for new videos.